This is what Donald Trump's America looks like. Masked agents lining the hall of the Federal Immigration Court in New York as asylum seekers walk through. They then grab the asylum seekers, pummel them on the ground, throw them into concentration camps, and disappear them. It's absolutely horrific. Throughout the country, you have Donald Trump's ICE officers trying to provoke the communities, terrorizing the communities, hoping for a reaction so that Donald Trump can justify sending the military into American cities to invade, like he's doing in Portland, Oregon. Beautiful city. He's invading it with military forces. He wants to do the same in Chicago, peaceful city. So he's trying to provoke the city. Amanda Moore, incredible photojournalist out there who's been capturing so much stuff. Support her work. She does incredible work. She's in front of one of the ICE facilities here in the suburbs of Chicago. And you'll see how these ICE agents just start basically shooting non-lethal, but shooting at reporters and people who are there, just indiscriminately. It's horrific to watch. Here, play this clip.
Get back! Get back!
And then, as Amanda Moore also points out, the man who they beat in this next video, who they pummel to the ground, the federal government is charging this guy with assault. Here, play this clip.
Move off the roadway! Get back! Get out of the way! Get back! Hey!
Don't push him!
Get off!
Are you okay?
You alright?
Are you okay?
I got it. You stay.
He got that on camera. He did not do anything.
You will be arrested.
He did not do
He
anything.
did nothing.
You guys just be doing like everyone else here. Cause they is monsters. They get off on this shit. You recognize that? That motherfucker
Do
hard.
not impede or interfere. You will be arrested.
Why are you doing this? Your information more cleaner this time. It's because y'all actually got somebody, huh? That is crazy.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh, the police. We were looking for y'all.
Go, collapse it in.
Just like y'all practiced this morning. Do it now. Just like y'all practiced.
I want to also point out, and I think this story hasn't gotten enough attention, and Reuters reported on it, federal prosecutions of drug traffickers and drug dealers is at an all-time low right now for many, 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 many decades. Because Trump's putting resources to terrorize communities. He's stripped federal prosecutorial offices of their top prosecutors. Top FBI agents have been fired. And so we're seeing a huge decline in drug prosecutions right now, and also operations to recover drugs right now. Not a good data point as well. Governor Pritzker of Illinois refers to these ICE agents in one of the cities in his state as jackbooted thugs, and he blasts their appearance trying to provoke the community here. While all of that's taking place, Donald Trump and his family may be enjoying a golden age. Americans are not. Americans are suffering right now. Let me just show you a basic example right here. One of the MeidasTouch network viewers just sent me this. It's her subscription to Maxwell House Dark Silk Roast Ground Coffee. So back on July 31st, 2024, she was paying $10.48 for this canister. January 22nd, 2025, paying $12.94 for this canister. April 16th, 2025, $13.75 for this canister of Maxwell House coffee. As I get to August and September, what do you think the number is going to be? What do you think it's going to be? All right, just see if you're right. As of July 13th, that same Maxwell House Original Roast Ground Coffee, $17.16. Then on August 21, 2025, Maxwell House Original Roast Ground Coffee, $21.44. So basically double the price. And that's consistent with the data that we're seeing. Inflation is surging right now. Americans can't afford groceries. Americans can't afford rent if they're lucky enough to own a home. They can't afford their mortgage. The psychological torture of living paycheck to paycheck right now is felt by most Americans. You're not alone if you're feeling that way. That's how most Americans are feeling. But the Trump family's going through a golden age right now, right? Trump's family announced last week a new company, Trump Vodka. Yesterday, another $1 billion. Saudi Arabia is going to be investing in a Trump Plaza as part of a new investment in addition to the other billions of dollars that Saudi Arabia has given to Trump Organization. Yesterday, Jared Kushner's company, Affinity Partners, which brought in about, I think, $5 billion in assets under management. $2 billion of that comes from the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. Well, Kushner allegedly put together, well, we know that the deal was put together. I'm not sure how involved Kushner was other than being the face of this. He put together a deal of Kushner's fund, Affinity, AFFINITY, the Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund known as PIF, PIF, and another private equity company. And they purchased EA, Electronic Arts, for $50 billion, the biggest leverage buyout in recent history, bringing Electronic Arts private, saddling the company with $20 billion of debt. Mostly all that money came from the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. Mind you, the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund is basically what's propped up Kushner's fund to begin with. So it's Kushner's fund, which is really Saudi-backed, the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, and another private equity firm. So Kushner's the face of now Saudi Arabia owning Electronic Arts, EA Sports, right? That's now owned by the Saudis, and Kushner laundered it through, if that's even the right word for it, through his private equity company, which is funded by Saudi Arabia anyway. Do you know how many deals like this are happening all the time to enrich the Trump family? They're getting super rich. Trump's bragging about 24 karat gold all over the White House, 90,000 square foot ballrooms. Well, the American people are suffering right now. I don't even want to play this video that Donald Trump posted last night of Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero with like a mustache. And then it's an AI slop video. And it has Chuck Schumer saying all of these things, all fabrications. Chuck Schumer never said these things. And it's like racist and anti-transgender and just real despicable stuff. And so while Americans are genuinely afraid right now of a government shutdown, a Trump, Jeffrey Epstein government shutdown, because Trump wants to cover up the Epstein files, right? That's why they're not swearing in the Democratic Congresswoman-elect from Arizona's 7th Congressional District, Adelita Grijalva. But as Americans are afraid, Americans just want their health care. Trump's already gutted their Medicaid. All the Democrats are saying is, look, we'll agree to keep this government funded. Like, we'll support it, even though you didn't talk to us. But you got to keep those Affordable Care Act tax credits in place. You got to extend them because 20 million Americans are going to be kicked off of healthcare because they're not going to be able to afford the 80% increase in their monthly premiums. If you're under the ACA, your monthly premiums, I'm not trying to fearmonger, it's just the reality. Your monthly premiums will go up 75 to 80%. I don't think you can afford. Who can afford healthcare going up 80% more per month? That's going to bankrupt most families. So Democrats said, look, just let's avoid that from happening. Then we can try to deal with other issues, but let's stop that from happening. And MAGA Republicans, they literally said, go F yourself. They cursed. That was the official response. Go F yourself. And then while these serious conversations are happening, Donald Trump's posting AI slop videos. Right over the weekend, he posted that AI slop video of something called a medbed, QAnon conspiracy, that aliens from outer space have this super medical bed technology that will cure everybody's cancer and sicknesses, but the government's kept it secret. Trump posted an AI video of himself and his daughter-in-law and Fox. This was all AI. So like, why would you post a fake AI video of yourself saying that I'm coming up with a new healthcare for all Americans called MedBeds? It's alien technology. It's what the president of the United States posted. I mean, that is deeply, deeply embarrassing. And what's going on across the world right now is horrifying. The New York Times did a bombshell report yesterday where the reporter was in Venezuela, spoke to family members of people who were purportedly in those fishing boats that Donald Trump blew up. Her husband was a fisherman with 4 children who left one day for work and never came back. Not a narco-terrorist. By the way, regardless, the United States should not be playing judge, jury, and executioner off the coast of Venezuela, especially on 24-foot fishing boats that don't have the fuel to even get to the United States. But the Americans just killing innocent people right now and are providing zero transparency. Another New York Times did some good reporting yesterday. Another story about how Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, others involved in a regime change strategy in Venezuela right now to get rid of Maduro. Look, it is true. Maduro is illegitimate. He didn't win the election. He stayed in power, kind of like what Trump wants to do. But we're going to do regime change in Venezuela and destabilize the area, while Donald Trump's also talking about sending troops back into Afghanistan. And is that what Donald Trump meant by being a peace president? Of course not. War continues in Ukraine. No peace in 24 hours. Atrocities continue in Gaza. You've got Trump and Netanyahu bragging how they want to control the TikTok algorithm in the United States to make it more MAGA and more pro-Israel. You've got Netanyahu hiring Trump's campaign people to work on retraining AI so that it's more pro-Israel propaganda. I mean, that's what they're doing right now. That's the focus. You got MAGAs complaining about Bad Bunny hosting that their new rage yesterday that they're angry about is Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl like Benny Johnson. He's a massive Trump hater, anti-ICE activist, no songs in English. He even canceled his entire U.S. tour. For this reason, effing ICE could be outside my concert, and it's something we were concerned about. Of course they're concerned about it, Benny Johnson. I showed those videos at the top that Amanda Moore and others captured. Who would not be concerned about that, where human beings are being disappeared and thrown into concentration camps across the country in the United States of America? You know, one of the reasons I think Donald Trump wants a shutdown as well, and he's basically, he knows the economic calamities to farmers, to Americans are going to fall on him, and he wants someone to blame. That's what Ponzi schemers do. He wants to blame Democrats. Also, they want to fire all these government workers, so they want to use it as a pretext to fire government workers. Also, they say that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, remember how Trump previously fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because Donald Trump didn't like a jobs report where it was being reported accurately how bad our economies act for real people is going on right now. Well, if there's a government shutdown, Trump says, I'm done with the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We're just going to suspend all operations. No economic data, no inflation data is going to be reported. It's like when he said, stop the testing for COVID. If we don't test, there are no cases. The American people still are dying. The American people are still suffering. Again, I don't care what political party you're from, Democrat, Republican, Independent, parties that I don't know about, whatever. This is real life. And we should not want the leader of the United States on the night before a government shutdown posting AI videos of the other political parties' leaders in a democracy wearing sombreros and fake mustaches and having AI fabricate their words. And that's really just despicable behavior right there. What Donald Trump rolls out of bed. What did he do yesterday? 100% tariffs on movies. I mean, the guy just wakes up demented. 100% tariffs on movies. I'm going to put massive tariffs on couches and vanities. And I'm going to put 100% tariffs on pharmaceuticals. They want to create constant chaos because their view is that fascism can thrive in an environment of constant chaos. But folks, I'm here to tell you I've got some good news. And here's the good news in all of this. As Adam Carlson writes, in each of the 6 publicly released national polls asking voters who they blame for a government shutdown, Republicans get more of the blame by double-digit margins. The average of the polling shows that Republicans get more of the blame by about 15 points. But could I be honest with you? To me, it's a good data. But I'm not trying to do the blame. Like, they should come together and they should solve the problems in good faith, right? Like, that's what I want to see. This is a democracy. I'd like to see both political parties come together and come up with a solution that benefits the people, not Donald Trump and his family or 90,000 square foot golden ballrooms or whatever, Qatari jets. No. That benefits us, the American people. That's what I want to see more than anything. But how do you negotiate with crazy? How do you negotiate with someone who's posting the most immature AI videos that I wouldn't expect a immature 6-year-old to be posting? That's where we're at right now. I want to leave you with this because I want to share with you part of the brainwashing that Donald Trump does with his supporters. I cover this a lot. I really don't see anyone else cover it. But every day Donald Trump is flooding the inbox of his supporters with messages like this. This is part of the cult brainwashing tactics that they use. This was all yesterday. Please, I'm starting to worry is the subject line. Ben, this is getting so sad. I've asked you so many times to complete my official MAGA poll. I'm worried about you. This is your very last chance. Respond to Trump. Justice in America. One of the worst human beings this country has ever been exposed to is James Comey, the former corrupt head of the FBI who was indicted on 2 felonies. He has been so bad for our country for so long and is now at the beginning of being held responsible for his crimes against our nation. But almost immediately, like clockwork, the radical left began rallying behind this dirty cop while attacking yours truly. So here's how we're going to respond. I'm calling on 1 million of my top supporters to rise up, and I stand with Trump over the corrupt swamp. Or emails like this, subject, this is very personal to me. Just watch how sick this is. He goes, Ben, since the day I returned to the White House, I have felt the mighty hand of God guiding this movement. His words remind us, if God is for us, who can be against us? The enemies of freedom thought they could break us with lies, with courts, with endless persecution, but they are wrong. Our strength does not come from man. It comes from the Lord. Always has, always will. And he knows that he's got a lot of followers who are religious people. Trump never opened up a Bible. Not that you have to. I care more that you're a good person than if you've read scripture personally. That's how I feel. But he knows he's preying on people. And he's saying, I am getting this message from God, from the Lord, and I'm telling you what he's telling me to do. And he's saying, go after the left, go after the Democrats. They're the bad guys. That's not how America used to be. But that's what Donald Trump has made America. And we don't always have to be this way. I hope we don't always have to be this way. And certainly here on the MeidasTouch Network, we're fighting to get beyond this, not just to educate you about the truth and what's happening, but to embrace empathy, to embrace our democracy and what our country is really all about. That's my message to you today. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, and let's get to 6 million subscribers. And most importantly, shout out to all those citizen journalists who are doing the real hard work. They're the real heroes out there every single day. Thanks for watching. New Meidas merch. Head to store.meidastouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.meidastouch.com.